Lack of access to justice has been identified as a major gap in the fight against sexual and gender-based violence in Nigeria. Experts say setting up special courts for sexual and gender violence may bring some respite to survivors seeking justice. Moyo Thomas reports.
In September, TVC did a report on a case of a minor raped by her neighbor. In the report, the father of the 7-year-old girl cried out for justice for the heinous crime against her innocent girl.
So I am shouting it to Nigerians, as many that are watching it a minute, to come for my rescue.
This story attracted the interest of advocates who rose to help the family get the justice they sought.
Attempt to arrest the suspect, he fled the community. So when he got back to the community, they further contacted us. So I advised him to go back to the police station and inform them that the suspect is back. And then I followed up with a letter to the police station, so another arrest was initiated.
TVC caught up with the family again at one of their meetings with the NGO, where the father narrates the traumatic experience of her daughter, which psychosocial therapy has helped her overcome.
Within that first week, second week, month of that incident, her behavior was not normal at all. Because the man usually giving her money, and she used to money. Because of that, she started picking money at home, and no matter where we keep money, she have to look for that money. But thank God today, everything is coming down a bit by bit. Within that very month to the second month, she came in where she's sleeping, she wee in bed 4-5 times. It was a very difficult issue to me. But I thank God today that the urine is stopped, and for her taking money is stopped.
Though Mr. Uche, the father of the survivor, is happy the alleged perpetrator has been arrested and is off the streets, he is worried that months down the line he is yet to be charged to court, despite the offender's confession of the crime.
A few days or few months coming, I'll get justice over my daughter's case.
For many survivors, getting justice is what gives them the closure they truly need to heal. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, in 2015, about 4,436 people were arrested for sexual offenses, but more than half of them were not prosecuted. The executive director of Dorothy Njemanze Foundation says there are many cases they have taken up that never made it to court.
We have cases with police and NAPTRIP, a lot of cases. Totally, there will be over 70. Yet to get to court. Because people report cases every day. So we have a lot of cases languishing in law enforcement offices that have not been conclusively attended to.
The police is usually the first contact in the chain of prosecution. They therefore play a vital role in ensuring survivors get the justice they deserve.
And rape cases are not...
The Deputy Commissioner of Police FCT Command explains the processes it takes the police in consolidating its cases.
To attend, the primary focus is the safety and well-being of the victim. That's our primary focus. So when such cases are reported, the first thing we do is try to empathize with the victim. You don't just rush into investigation. You try to empathize, try to calm the victim, reassure the victim. And because most victims of rape exhibit signs of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder.
So they are supposed to bring it to police. He also talks about hindrances the Nigerian police experience when charging such cases. She said
some hindrances, like when you get a delay in getting the medical report from the doctor, maybe due to one reason or the other. All these things tend to drag, and then maybe when you talk about the issue of the court processes itself, you know, from filing of a charge to the courts assigning to arraignment. So these are the areas where we might get delays. But ordinarily, except if the perpetrator is not known, one, or if the perpetrator is on the run, then of course we can't charge a case to court without the perpetrator.
Yes. This FIDA lawyer believes hindrances like delay from courts could be solved by putting in place special courts for SGBV cases.
For sexual violence, special courts for gender-based violence. If we have such courts, we'll be able to fast track, and they won't have like lots of cases.
Efforts made by the government in ending sexual and gender-based violence can only make a headway when offenders are duly prosecuted. For example, names for sex offenders register are only for cases tried and convicted of the crime. Some survivors develop a sense of apathy to the justice system, like Gloria, not her real name, a young 17-year-old girl we met that was raped and got pregnant in the process.
They just wanted to collect money from him. So after we got contact of Ms. Dorothy and then managed to push the case to court, the court has never had a sitting for once. They keep on adjourning and adjourning. So this second rape case now, we reported to NAPTIP, and then all of a sudden we heard that they've released the perpetrator on bail without telling us.
After the troubling experiences she has gone through, she is no longer interested in seeking justice.
They are both the same. They are both the same. Police did not do anything, and NAPTIP is also not doing anything.
What would you want right now?
Right now, I've given up on both law enforcement because we reported this case, the second case, July, and now we're in November. Next week is December. The year is already running to an end, and they've not done anything. And then the one reported since 2017 that I managed to get to court, nothing has happened since then. So they are both the same.
I think we need to have a better, practical, humane approach to access to justice, because yes, everybody is innocent until proven guilty, but even the people who have been violated need to be protected. We've had many people that are on suicide watch, including children. As I talk to you now, we have an adult who is on suicide watch. She tried to take her life a few weeks ago, and this is simply because they feel there's no justice for them.
Sexual and gender-based violence has a devastating effect on survivors. For Gloria, it has cost her family, her education, and she's worried about the cost of caring for a baby when she gives birth. A slow and inaccessible justice system makes prevention and response to cases of sexual and gender-based violence cumbersome. It also encourages the culture of silence, which is a grave danger to victims of SGBV. Speeding up the judicial process for cases of GBV will in a long way help ending the menace. Moya Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.